Hello and welcome to MCPSS Athletics. My name is Calvin Chris, Athletic Director for the Mobile County Public Schools. Studio today we have from BC Raines High School Athletic Director Bruno Simmons and Head Football Coach Telly Stone. But first, let's get to our scoreboard. Murphy lost a hard-fought and emotional game to McGill-Tulane 35-28. This was Murphy's first region loss this year. Blount defeated Baldwin County High School 59-16 as the Leopards continue to roll. Tony led the way by throwing for 5 touchdown passes. Theodore got upset by the Foley Lions 48-33. Bobcats got behind big early and had to play catch-up all night. The BC Raines Red Raiders overcame a huge early deficit to knock off the Faith Academy Rams 38-28. The Viger Wolves continued to play well as they defeated Williamson 46-6 to set up a big region showdown with St. Paul's this week. Taylor accounted for 4 touchdowns, 2 throwing and 2 rushing. Florida dropped a 41-6 decision to Saraland. Williams scored 3 touchdowns as Mary G. Montgomery defeated Alma Bryant 35-3. Davidson dropped a heartbreaker to Fairhope 23-20. Baker and Central Nell had bye weeks. And that is it for this week's scoreboard. Now we're going to move to our Scholar Athlete of the Week from BC Raines High School, Miss Denisha McKenzie. And after that, we'll be back with Coach Simmons.
I'm honored to be a Scholar Athlete of the Week because, I knew I could do it, but I never thought I could compete with the other kids,
She's awesome. She's totally awesome. She's actually blossomed. She's followed the steps from when I had her as an 8th grader. She's made all the benchmarks. I'm looking for a great year out of her this year.
All 3 are my favorite because volleyball is the most fun, but softball, I love that one. But basketball, I gotta go hard in basketball. But I love all 3. All 3 are my favorites, so it's not no this one over this one. All 3 of them equal because I go hard in all of them, so I love all of them.
She's a great athlete. She's a great student in the classroom, and she carries herself very well around campus.
She's staying on top of her studies. She comes and works out during the summer, all sports. She volunteers. She does everything that's needed to be done to exceed on the next level and be a student athlete for 4 years.
My mom and my dad stay on me about, mostly school-wise, but sports-wise also, but school-wise, they make sure me and my sibling, make sure we get our work first. If you don't get your work, you can't play, period. So you gotta do that first.
She's proven for 4 years, 9th through 12th, that she has that staying power to make an impact on someone's university.
Put God first, definitely. You have to go to you have to get your lesson in the Bible. So make sure you have Him as the head of your life. Keep the negatives away from you. Have a positive circle, and make sure you get your schoolwork and go hard in everything you do and don't let, and you'll be all right.
Welcome back. We've got Coach Simmons here, the Athletic Director from BC Raines High School. Coach, appreciate you coming by. Coach, it's your first year at BC Raines, and I kid you all the time about your experience. You've got experience in a lot of different areas, so tell us a little bit about your career up to this point.
I started in 2002 as a mathematics teacher. Math has always been my love, my passion. My whole family is a part of education. About 2010, I became the assistant principal. And once I became the assistant principal, I found different kind of avenues. During that same year, I became also the athletic director. And I found out I kind of had a little idea, I kind of like athletes. I kind of like sports. I was a basketball coach and throughout. And then now I'm in Mobile County, and I'm just trying something. And so far, I kind of like what I'm doing.
Well, you landed at a good spot, and Mr. Furrell's great to work for.
Yes, sir,
I know you found that out pretty quick.
Yes, sir.
And go into a little bit about, a lot of times people think, well, we give the athletic director's job to the head football coach, and that's just to keep the football coach, but go into some of the duties that you have to do in the course of a day. And I know you can be pulled at 6:30 in the morning or 10:30 at night with stuff going on. So
just like, for instance, like at a football game, the football coach has prepared their team. They don't have to worry about the concession. They don't have to worry about the ticket gate, getting people working their ticket gates, just the parking, all the different avenues that people just come in and see the team play. It takes time to get all that started before 7 o'clock. You know, it's a planning process, and you just have to be patient and have great people to work with. And I have a great staff at BC Rain. Anything I ask them to do, they're willing to help me. So I have no problem with them.
it takes just like on the football field, it takes a team effort.
Yes, ma'am.
It takes a big group to pull things off. I think a lot of times we say if you're at Ladd Stadium, you just don't sometimes know that what all goes into it because we don't have any concession or parking there. So it does take a lot of good help. I know you may or may not be involved with C2C. Our academic advisors take care of a lot of that, but talk a little bit about C2C. People may not know exactly what that is.
C2C is a process, is a program that's through iNow, where the kids' grades go through. And instead of back in the day, we used to have to calculate each other's grade. Now everything is just, once the grades are in, they're into iNow, they're in the C2C schools. So that helps out with a lot of eligibility concerns. They tell you if you have a problem, kids with ineligible. And like I said, it just helps you out a lot. And you know, everything is concrete. Kid is either eligible or ineligible. And everything is no gray area, it's as black and white, simple as possible.
I think that's been, when it first started, there was a lot of headaches with it, but when you take that gray area out, I think that helps a lot. It really does, and you can go in and check, and like you say, I think in the long run, it's been a great thing for our whole state, and this is a state thing, not necessarily a county thing. So, how do you balance the AD in your teaching? I know I've heard you're a very good math teacher, and I know that's your full-time job.
Yeah.
AD can be a full-time job. How do you balance that?
The first key, you have to be organized. You got to keep your stuff organized as much as possible. You try to improve on different areas, just like in the classroom. You always want to get better, and that's my goal. I want to get better in anything that I do. And so the key is to me is just keeping organized, keep organization.
And I think anybody that's organized, it goes a long way, especially because those are two big things. Because math, math and English are two of our big cores, and we always got math scores that we've got to keep up, and so that's very important. We are fixing to, I think we've already started basketball practice, haven't we?
It's the first day
Talk about your basketball coaches and what you've got going on here. It won't be long, they'll be opening up, I think, here 1st of November. Yeah,
Coach Gray is our girls basketball coach. He's been there several years. And we have a new year coach this year, Coach Palmer. He's our boys coach. And he seems like he's really interested, he's really enthusiastic. So hopefully we can have a great season with both of them.
And BC Range has had some pretty good seasons here lately. So they really have. And I know Coach Gray has done a great job with the girls program. He puts in so many hours.
Oh yes, he does. I mean, he's our volleyball coach, he's our basketball coach, he's our baseball coach. Coach Gray is one of those people that if I ask him to do something, oh, Miss Simmons, I got you, Miss Simmons. And I'm very appreciative of Coach Gray.
And he must have an understanding wife.
Because we take a lot of his time. We take a lot of his time.
He's working up there in the summertime, and he's done good. Okay, now he is doing your baseball also.
Yes, he's doing our baseball also.
Okay,
yes,
so he is a little bit stretched out.
We stretched him out.
Talk a little bit about your administration. I know you've got a new assistant principal, but your principal, I think he's one of the best we've got. He does such a wonderful job. And what I like about Mr. Furl is there's no gray area with Mr. Furl.
No gray area.
And I like that. And he runs a very good school. So talk about that relationship with. I know he brought you in and spoke very highly of you, and you know, a lot of times we don't venture out and look at maybe other parts of the state and trying to get, you know, other people in. But he went out and tried to find the best possible person.
Mr. Farrell, he was the type of guy. He came to Ms. Simmons. I'm very direct. I said, Mr. Farrell, I appreciate it, and I could tell just from the couple of months that I've been with him, everything is on the up and up. I mean, everything is, Ms. Simmons, I want this, I expect this. I say, yes, sir, and I try to get it done the best I can. Very up forward, and I love working with him.
Yeah, he's great.
I love working with him.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. We'll have you back in the last session, and after this message, we'll be back with Coach Stone.
It started with me at Murphy High School when I came here as a freshman in 1973. I was very interested in math and science already before I came to Murphy. From Murphy High School, I was appointed to the U.S. Naval Academy, was able to get my college degree and also my commission in the U.S. Navy from the Naval Academy. But it truly was the foundation that I gained here at Murphy High School that allowed me to take advantage of that great opportunity.
I'm Ashley Rich, Mobile County District Attorney. The failure to obey school bus safety laws will cost you. It can cost you up to a $3,000 fine and the loss of your driving privileges.
But more than that, it could cost the life of a child. That's why the Mobile County Public School System is urging you to stop and obey all bus traffic laws. Hi, I'm Pat Mitchell, Director of Transportation for the Mobile County Public School System. We're asking you to obey all bus safety laws. It could save a life. Remember, stop ahead when you see red. Our future depends on it.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Welcome back. We got Coach Teller Stone here, the head football coach at BC Reigns. And Coach, welcome. Appreciate you coming by.
Thank you.
And Coach, I just want to say right up front, I don't know that I enjoyed watching any team more than yours last year. Your kids, what I liked about them last year is they just showed up, and they just looked like they were having a great time. I know it was a great season last year. Just take a couple minutes and talk about the great season and your run in the playoffs last year.
Well, you know, last year was year 2 for me there at BC Reign, and you know, we just tried to get the kids to go out there and understand the magnitude of the games that we were playing in. And you know, looking at them from the stands, I don't think they knew the magnitude. Like you said, they just went out and had fun and played, and that's what it's really all about. You know, so you know, the year started out pretty rough for us. We were 1-6 at some point in time, and we had a team meeting and we had a burial, and we had the kids write something on the note card that they want to put behind them that had happened throughout the first part of the season, and we did, and we buried it and said we wasn't going to look back at that point. Some of our goals that we wanted to achieve at that time were still obtainable for us, and you know, and we just turned it around. You know, went on a 5-game winning streak, went to the 3rd round of the playoff, and it was good for that type of success to happen early in your tenure at a school. You know, it's always big, and it set a new type of work ethic for us in the weight room, on the practice field, and it's been great and been good for the kids.
And Coach, not only that, but people don't realize it. That football team, it set a tone for the whole Dauphin Island Parkway. That whole community, it gave them something, you know, to pull for. I just thought it was great, because when we, after last year, started mentioning Tremere Park and all, you know, it just, you know, they couldn't hardly wait. They wanted Friday night lights in Tremere Park. So I think not only did it not help your school, but I think the whole community jumped on board, and that's what I like to see, that happen. All right, let's talk about this season so far.
Well, right now we're sitting at 3-5. You know, early part of the season hasn't been the way that we would wish to have been. Tough schedule. I think you know, we played 2 number 1 teams in the state. We played a number 6 team in 6A. Then you look at Baker, who has a real good program, and the other teams that not ranked, that Viger has a real good program. So it's a tough schedule. You know, we're young in the areas that you need experience at, you know, quarterback and a lot of other positions. You know, you look at the roster and you see senior by that position, but we're young. You know, that senior, you know, we have a couple of seniors out there, but first year playing football, or maybe in the second year playing football, we have very few kids that's been in the program, you know, for 3 years, you know, but the younger kids, some have been in the program for 2 years, and, you know, we're looking to keep building off of that. You know, right now we got Williamson coming up this Friday, and it's a playoff game for both of us. You know, whoever wins that game will get the 4th spot in Region 1 5A, so the kids know the magnitude of the game and know the situation, and we've been saying ever since last week that every game for us is a playoff game because we knew if we lose, we were out. So we'll see today if they come ready and respond, so, and I think they will.
We went by last week, Coach Lowell and myself, to see Coach Sumter, and he echoed exactly what you said. So his kids realize the same thing. So this should be a great game.
Should be a great
game because I like to see late in the season when you still got something to play for. It really helps. Coach, your success last year, did it increase your participation this year? Have you got more kids out?
You wouldn't believe. We had a roster of 45 kids last year, and we started spring ball, we had 65. Wow. But I tell you, when fall started and the beginning of the school year, August, we had 95 kids to come out. You know, and I walked to Mr. Farrell officer, I said, hey, we got a problem. He said, what's the problem, Coach? You know, he get worried about stuff like that. I said, but it's a good problem. I said, we don't have enough equipment to dress out all the guys that come out. He said, how many come out? I said, 95. He said, geez. So, you know, we had a increase in the roster, and we was able to get majority of the guys dressed out. So we end up dressing out 85 guys. Wow. And it goes a long way with the competition at practice, you know, and it helps you with your discipline, you know, because now you got a guy that knows he have someone behind him is, you know, want that position. So in the competition, it's a win-win situation when you have a roster size of 85.
Coach, talk a little bit about your region, which is a pretty tough region. Some of the other teams that, and do we know how they're going to finish in the region?
Right now, Region 1 5A is Jackson.
And they
should be number one. Right now, it's a tie at second with St. Paul's and Viger. And you know, whoever loses that game this week will probably get the winner, get the second spot. The loser probably get the third. And in that 4th spot is, you know, us, BC Rain, and of course Williamson. And the two teams that's out is Faith Academy in Escambia County. Real tough region. You know, you look across the board sometimes throughout the year. You can have 4 top 10 teams easily. You know, so, and I think it's kind of, I call it the SEC of high school football. Right. Tough.
And St. Paul's and Jackson can play with anybody.
Anybody.
I mean, and Jackson, I believe, is number 1 in the state.
Correct.
So they are tough. Coach, talk a little bit about your offense this year. You run the same offense, or have you changed it, or?
Well, I lost my offensive coordinator from last year, Thomas Duffy, who you know, went on to Fairhope High School, and we was able to bring Rob Miller in from Saraland Middle School. He's very knowledgeable on the offensive side of the ball. You know, I think he's done a great job. When he come in, we want to kind of keep some things the same that we was doing last year. We kind of had some success with it towards the end, and I also want to give him the flexibility to do whatever he wanted to do offensively. And we've kind of mixed it in a little bit. We've been in the eye a little bit and some in the shotgun, you know, and I think he's done a great job. We just got a 9th grader starting at quarterback, you know, no experience. We got him from Chastain, and the offensive line is kind of young. So, you know, we're kind of doing some of the same stuff we was doing last year.
Well, good. I tell you, Chastain has some great athletes. You get athletes from there. And they're well coached. Coach Shelton does a good job over there. All right, Coach, if you'll stay right there, we're going to bring Coach Simmons back, and we'll be back right after this message.
Did you know that the graduation rate for Mobile County is 82% and rising? That's because Mobile County Public Schools is equipping our students to be college and career ready. Did you also know that 144 of our AP scholars excelled high on the advanced placement exams to earn college credit? And with more signature academies and career technical programs, we are finding additional ways of keeping our students engaged. Building futures, it starts with us.
Diesel is a very big industry, and I went into it in a 2-year program at the Bryant Career Tech with Tony Tillman.
When Jacob graduated from the Bryant Career Center, he had earned his diesel credential.
The Career Technical Center taught me a lot, all the way from not knowing anything about a motor or engine to knowing pretty much every single moving part of them.
MCPSS Career Tech. Start your future today.
I've got smartboard, that's right.
Welcome back. We brought Coach Simmons back, and want to finish up a question we was talking about. Coach Stone's offense. What about your defense, Coach?
It's based out the 3-4. We run a 3-4 and we run some stack out of it. I think we're real good up front. We got 2 seniors and 1 junior up on the D line. We got some experience on defense, and we got some younger guys on defense as well. I think kids just fly around on that side of the ball, and we've had, played pretty good defense all season.
Well, good. Coach, explain during basketball season how you plan out your gates and all. And I'm trying to show people all the duties that you have, and it is a long, long list, but that can be time-consuming trying to get people for gates and all. Just go into that, and also it's the same for baseball probably.
At the beginning of the season, once I get the schedule, I get all the home games, and I assign so many people for the ticket gate, so many people to watch this, door for this, so many people to security, and I make out a list. I say each game I have about 6 different items, and I go around and I try to get the teachers, will you get such and such, will you get, do this for me. And 100% cooperation anytime I ask a teacher to do something for me, and they're very positive towards me, and it's been an easy process so far.
That's great, because a lot of schools they those that leave every day at 3:30, they don't want to come back. You could pay them bunches of money to come back, and they
we don't pay them any money, anything like that. They just give up their time.
That's
great. I'm very appreciative.
That's great. Coach, I know you was talking about you had a young team. Have you got anybody that may sign this year, or?
Well, we got a couple guys that's getting some looks. No one has gotten an offer yet. We got a senior cornerback, Chance Kimbrell. He's getting some looks, and we got an inside linebacker, Gervonta Cameron. He also won a Mobile County Player of the Week this week, so he's getting some looks as well. Good.
Coach Simmons, talk a little bit about your girls program, some of your coaches. We got softball, track, and also where they're playing at. I know it can be a disadvantage sometimes when you don't have your facilities at the school. So talk a little bit about that.
We have Ms. Curry Harbin. She's going to be our softball coach. Coach Gray, like we said before, is our basketball coach, girls basketball coach. We have a young lady named Eva Stallworth. She works at Indian Springs. She's going to be our girls track coach. No, I'm sorry, Miss Thomas. She's going to be our girls track coach. Miss Eva is going to be our girls soccer coach. So as you can see, we dib and dab in a different area, and it seems like we're going to have a very successful girls program this year.
I like it when these schools have soccer. A lot of our schools don't have soccer, and I always said if I was a football coach, I'd insist on having a soccer team where you might find a kicker out of it. I know Blunt's found a kicker. They've got a great kicker, and they come from their soccer program. So that's great. I like for us to offer as much as we can for our kids, as many sports as we can, because they all need to be doing something in the afternoon. Coach, talk a little bit about your off-season program. I know it was probably a lot better after coming off that great season, but I know you work all summer long, and just some of the things that you're doing in the summer. I know you do 7-on-7 and some of these things.
Well, you know, after the season's over with, we give the kids 1 week off to kind of unwind and, you know, get their mind and do whatever they want to do. And after that, it's right back to work. You know, we lifting weights 4 days out the week. We speed train 2 days out the week. You know, that's all the way up until we get ready to go into spring ball, of course. And, you know, we go to spring ball. But summertime, we're doing pretty much the same things, you know, 7-on-7s. But we also like to do a lot of OTAs where you take the entire team and let the offensive line and defensive line get some competition, get some work as well. And so, you know, you won't just have the skilled guys getting a lot of work in. And I think the OTAs are a whole lot better than the 7-on-7. 7-on-7s, you can end up picking up some bad tendencies or bad traits with your inside linebackers or whatnot. So that's some of the things that we do in the off season and in the summertime.
I think a lot of our coaches are thinking like you and going to the OTAs instead of 7-on-7. So I think it's a great idea when you can get all the kids out there. So, Coach, talk a little bit about I know y'all probably monitor y'all's kids' grades, and I know this is a lot with the academic advisor, and talk a little bit about what y'all do there. I mean, y'all got to stay on top of them, I know.
We have this monitoring process where we work with kids that have a 65 or below average in any class.
Great.
And Coach Stone and I, we work very well on that. And so it seems like it's going away. It's like it's going positive. You know, we keep current of all our athletes as much as possible during the season. And now, like basketball season getting started, now the process has to go between Coach Gray and Coach Palmer now.
So that's great.
It's very.
Yeah, go ahead.
And when you're talking about the grades, Mr. Simmons has done a great job with that process. But we hold our kids to a higher standard. You know, you don't have to just have a 70 average in your 4 core classes to be eligible. We require you to have a 70 average in every class that you're taking. And if you fall below that 70 at any point, you're on a two-week probationary period. And if you haven't brought your grade up within those 2 weeks, you're suspended from whatever sport it is at that time. And I think it's a good system to have in place where we're at to keep kids motivated, to keep the grades up.
When you hold those kids accountable like that, most of them are going to do it. It's just, you know, just making them do it. Coach, we got about 45 seconds. Talk a little about your staff. You mentioned Coach Miller, but some of the other assistant coaches have done a great job this year.
Yeah, we lost a lot of guys from last year's staff. You know, anytime you have success, there's going to be people coming after them. We was able to bring Rob Miller in, like I stated earlier, to be the offensive coordinator. Got Coach Williams. He come in from the floor to do the offensive line. And I brought Coach Palmer, who will be serving as the basketball coach, and he's also coaching in the secondary for me. Anytime I think you can get a basketball and football coach is a great thing for the entire program.
That's great. Well, Cole, appreciate both y'all coming by. Continued success,
Yes,
and thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.